Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the iBUG Buzz for Monday, August 9th, 2021. My name is Brad Snyder, and along with Sandhya Rao, we are your co-hosts for tonight's get-together. The iBUG Buzz is an open forum event where we discuss all things iOS. That means the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, and the Apple TV, along with apps and various hardware that's associated with the iOS environment. This call is being recorded and will be available once it's all completed on the ibugtoday.org website, where you can find lots of other recordings from various iBUG events. I believe this recording will also be available on the Sight into Sound website and will be available in a podcast form that can be accessed on your podcast player of choice. You can also get this podcast on your smart device by asking smart device play iBUG Today, iBUG Today Buzz, iBUG Buzz, excuse me. Anyway, we got that done. Easier said than done. As I said, this program is being recorded, so it help us get as clean a recording as possible. We ask that everybody please stay on mute until you are speaking. And with that, we do not use the raise hand feature on iBUG. We ask that if you would like to speak, you state your name and wait to be called on by either myself or Sandhya. Now, back to the clean recording. We ask you to stay on mute. I need to tell you how to unmute. If you're on an iOS device, you will find a mute button in the lower left-hand corner of your Zoom app screen. If you are on an iPad, you will find the button it's near the top of the screen, just slightly to the right. If you're joining us on a Mac computer, you will use Command-Shift-A to mute and unmute. And if you're on a Windows computer, it is Alt-A. If you're joining us tonight on a dial-in telephone, you will use *6 to mute and unmute. And let's see, I think I managed to bungle my way through all of that. So let's turn it over to the iBUG guy and see if Michael can do a better job of announcements.
All right, yes. We are ready for announcements. We've got a fairly light week as far as iBUG events this week coming up, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, August the 10th, we have our iBUG mini buzz on Clubhouse. That's our shortened version of this particular meeting on Clubhouse, open Q&A help session for iOS users. And that's at 5 p.m. Central Time on Clubhouse. Then on Thursday, we have our iBUG Vila Book Club, and that will start at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And right back here on this same Zoom line, our book that we're reading this month is The Hot Zone. And still have a couple of days if you want to try to read that. It's a little over 10 hours. And come join us for that discussion of The Hot Zone. Then Friday, we have our weekly iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. We have a pre-social that starts at 7:30 p.m. The movie will start at 8 p.m. Central, and then immediately following the movie, we will have a discussion and trivia time. So those are the events for this week. Oh, and stick around for halftime to find out what the movie is going to be during the big reveal. For all information about iBUG, all of our various meetings and training sessions and social events, you can always go to our website, ibugtoday.org. That's ibugtoday.org. You can also on social media, Facebook, we have a Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/iBugtoday. And there you can join the group and find announcements, as well as it's a good place to post questions you might have in between these Monday night calls. Then you can follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at iBugToday. And Herbie, our Twitter master, is retweeting information related to Apple and other tech information, giving you tips and tricks and other good stuff. So that's always a good thing to keep up with. So those are our ways to keep up with what's going on iBUG. And so I am going to turn it now back over to you, Brad.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Now that we've got the preliminaries and the announcements out of the way, let's take a tour around the room and give everybody an opportunity to say hello, tell us your name, where you're joining us from, and above all, if you're new. And because we always like to hear from the people who are new to joining us. So to get us started, my name is Brad, and
Well, Brad, where'd you go?
I don't know. My name is how much of that did you get?
Well, my name is Brad, and
My name is Brad, and I am in Dallas.
oh, sorry. Hold on. All right. Sorry, everybody got muted. Now you can say your name.
Shelby in Baytown.
Terry.
Okay, one at a time. Okay,
Shelby in
Brad and
Baytown.
Terry. Okay, go ahead. Brad, you need to unmute. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shelby. Okay, welcome.
Mark in
Susan Summer
Montreal.
from Houston.
Keith in Austin.
Mark in
Chanel.
Montreal.
Xavier, Atlanta, Georgia.
Steven from Austin. Marty, Philadelphia.
This is Dee at the
Arlene.
dinner table.
All right, welcome and welcome everybody. Go ahead, keep going. Welcome Arlene and Dee.
This is Ned from Kyle, Texas.
Hey there, Ned.
This is Dan from Southern California.
Hey, Dan.
This is Shree from Springfield, Virginia.
Hey, Sri.
Linda from Mumble.
There you are. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
This is Ed from New York.
Hello, Ed. Welcome to you. Glad to have you. All right. Anybody else want to say hello?
Jody from New Hampshire.
Hey, Jody. Welcome. Anybody else want to say hello and where you're from?
Hello? Yes,
Yes.
David from New York.
Hello, David. Welcome to you. Glad to have you. All right. Anybody else want to say hello? Okay.
I could give a shout out to David. He's new.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, and Brad, is everything okay? All right, so.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
just
good.
letting you.
Okay, I didn't mean to. I thought you were gone. Okay,
You
go ahead.
did good. I just figured,
Okay, go ahead.
let's just do that. All righty. I think everybody that got a chance, that wanted a chance, has had a chance to say hello. And in case anybody didn't catch it the first time or the second time, this is Brad. I am still in Dallas, believe it or not.
And,
All right.
well, this is Sandhya from Houston. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Let's see. What we usually like to do to get things started is give anybody who's new, either new to the iBUG Buzz or a new iOS user, an opportunity to get things started by asking the first few questions. So if anyone would like to take advantage of that opportunity, it's yours. Okay. If there's anybody else that might like to get us started.
It's Marty.
Marty, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Not really a question, but in a comment to what my question was last week about the Bluetooth delay with the Amazon eBuds, the Echo Buds.
Okay.
Well, what I have noticed, I did put in 14.7.1, the latest update, and still had that delay, but it's also happening. I have 3 Plantronics Voyager headsets, and it's
Okay.
happening with the 5200, and
Interesting.
I think the reason is because that's the only Voyager that offers you Alexa capability, because the others, when I use those, they disconnect and connect, immediately. But that 5200 has that 1 minute delay where when it connects and disconnects, you get your sound through the earpiece for about a minute. And then it either goes, when you connect, it either goes to the Bluetooth. When you disconnect, it goes to the phone speaker after a minute.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's
So what I might try to do is disable that Alexa feature in that 5200, and if it doesn't happen or still happens, I might like update you next week on that.
okay. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you.
This is
for that
Herbie.
update. Yes, sir, Herbie.
So just a clarification, Marty, when you talk about a minute delay, are you talking about it connecting to your phone before you can hear anything? With the Alexa Buds?
I'm sorry, what's that?
So when you mention a delay, are you talking about like how long it is before you can actually hear Bluetooth audio through your phone?
Well, what happens is I hear audio through the earpiece, and then like when I'm connecting, about a minute later, it will come through the headset. When I disconnect, I hear it through the earpiece of the phone for about, not through the headset, but through the earpiece of the phone for about a minute, and then it comes through the phone speaker, and that's on the Echo Buds and on
So this
the
is
5200.
And the 5200 also have Alexa?
Yes, that's the only Voyager.
I wonder
Plantronics Voyager
if it's
that
an
has
Alexa thing.
capability.
Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting you. I wonder
Yeah.
if it's an Alexa thing because my
That's what I'm
Bose.
thinking.
I think it is because my Bose headphones, that have Alexa do the exact same thing sometimes,
Okay.
and it's rather annoying. And the only way to get rid of it is to either start the phone playing something or just wait a couple minutes. But yeah, I deal with that same thing with my Bose headphones, which are also Alexa capable.
Yeah.
So
That's why I say I want to disable the Alexa feature on the Voyager 5200.
Yeah, see if it is
and see
related
if
to
it still
that. What
happens.
I can tell you is because
This is Sandhya. Okay, we want to wait till one person finishes before we speak. We just cannot
Oh,
have
sorry,
a
okay.
conversation. So please say your name and then just let's proceed that way. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you guys for that input. Let's see who has a question they'd like to.
This is Shelby in Baytown.
Okay, Shelby, go ahead.
Hey, so I discovered a new book app that I find extremely interesting. It's a lot better than Audible. It's called Scribd or Script, something like that. I can post a link to the app on Facebook. It's a subscription, but it's a lot cheaper than Audible. and you have an audiobook as well as ebook. So you can search for any book and it'll come up with today's pick, which could be an audiobook or an ebook, depending upon what your preferences are.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's interesting information. Okay, who's got a question for us?
This is Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Well, what's the title of that app that lady was just mentioning for cheaper audiobooks?
I think she said it was
Script. I didn't get it.
Script.
And this is
Yeah.
Shelby.
Yeah, Shelby, go
If
ahead.
you're on Facebook, I can't really find a script. I think it's SCRIBT or something like that. I will put a link in the Facebook group
Oh,
because my
okay.
cousin gave it to me. So it's only like $10 a month.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dan. All righty. Who's got a question for us? Let's get us moving on some questions tonight.
This is Joe.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, that's got a strange one here. I've got a watch. It's not a iOS watch. It's an old fashioned. No, it's a talking watch. There you go. It's got the buttons on the top of it, and I didn't know the instructions for it, and so I took a picture of the instructions with the cell phone, and then I put them. I think it's on Voice Stream. This makes sense?
Repeat that last part.
I took the picture and I put them on, I think it's on Voice Stream where the books are.
Okay.
My books. All right. Then whenever I try to, I opened it up and trying to navigate between navigation and controls. I can go down and trying to get all the way back up to the top again. I have trouble being able to move with it.
We're talking about excuse me. This is Brett. We're talking about in your Voice Dream Reader app.
Yes, sir.
You're having trouble navigating in the Voice Dream Reader app.
Yes. There's two windows, I think. I can't tell because I'm mostly blind, but
I understand.
At the top part, I think it's got the text in it, and there's a little yellow mark that goes down through where it's reading. Down at the bottom, you've got another little window, and you tap it, and there's a play button or a pause button.
Okay,
and it toggles back and forth. Okay. But getting all the way back up to the top of my text to begin at the beginning of those instructions, I found one part I can tap on it and it will start going up, but it doesn't go all the way up. I don't know if I put a, what do you call it? Bookmark, and it won't go past it, or for some reason it stopped in the middle and I can't go further up.
Okay, and this is on you found the user's guide for your watch.
Yes, it's on it was on the box that it came with.
Okay, and you put it in the Voice Dream Reader app.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who is familiar with the Voice Dream Reader app and can maybe help Joe out with what he's got going on?
This is Jody.
Okay,
yes.
Jody.
Yeah, how did you scan it? Did you scan it with Voice Dream Scanner? Because there's no scan feature in Voice Dream Reader. And I'm wondering if you're getting...
I took a picture of it.
You took a picture of it. Do you have the Voice Dream Scanner app?
I think I'm not sure if I do or not. I might.
Okay. I suggest that you try using the Voice Dream Scanner app and read it that way, because that way you'll be able to move around. And there's two ways that you can access the scan. You can either just have it scan and read it to you, or at the bottom of the page you can select looking at the entire page all at once, and you can actually move all around the page with your finger and go from one place to another. So if there's information on the page that you want to access directly, you just touch that part of the page. So rather than using the camera, which is going to just, it's not going to give you as clear an image, I suggest you try using the VoiceStream scanner app or use Seeing AI instead, because I think you're having a difficult time because you're taking a picture of it and then trying to use the VoiceStream Reader app, that's not going to be as compatible. So, and if you don't have the VoiceStream scanner app, I suggest you get it because it's really, really, really fantastic. It's even better than the KNFB reader.
Is it better than Seeing AI?
Yes, yeah, it's better than Seeing AI. Seeing AI is good, but the VoiceStream scanner is excellent.
Okay. After I use that, can I be able to put it like in a document and be able to save it so I can go back and forth and not have to scan? All right. When you put it yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Guys,
I was going to say.
Yeah, let's try to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
That's right.
We try to avoid a conversational flow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Joe. Ask your question.
When you take the use the VoiceStream scanner and you have it at that point, do you put it in a document, and then where does the document go?
Okay. You can actually, if you scan it with the VoiceStream scanner, you can then actually save it with your VoiceStream reader. And then you can add it to the library in your VoiceStream reader.
This is Joe. Thank you very much. I'll try that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Brad. I'll behave myself.
That's okay. This is Brad, and I know I have both of them. And if I'm not mistaken, when you've got VoiceStream scanner, there seems to be a VoiceStream or a scanner button in VoiceStream Reader. I'm not sure if that's because I have both or if the scanner function is now part of VoiceStream Reader. Because if it is, I believe that function was implemented after the scanner came out, and I've had both since a long time. So anyway, try that out, Joe, and hopefully that'll work better for you.
This is Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, who would like to go next? Who's got a question for us?
This is Keith.
All righty, Keith, go.
I just went to the App Store, and I believe the app that Shelby is talking about is called Scribd. It's SCRIBD.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very good. All righty. That's good. We got that. Okay, who's got a question for us? Let's see if we can get on some good old iOS questions.
This is Shri.
Yes, sir. Shri, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to try and explain this. So this is a Siri question. So I was with my wife and we're driving around. I was looking for to call the local Home Depot. So I asked Siri, call the local Home Depot, and it gave me the address of the local Home Depot. Then it says, what would you like to do? I said, call. And its response was, well, who do you want to call? And I said, my local Home Depot. And it went in a cycle. Like I couldn't get out of this to call. And I was wondering if anyone else is experiencing this.
All right. Who can help Shri out with his Siri quandary? Go ahead, Shelby.
Okay. You need to make a specific thing. Siri, what's the phone number for the nearest Home Depot? And hopefully she'll respond. Sometimes she can be a scratcher.
This is Shri.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What's the initial command you said? Did you say what or what?
Shelby.
Thanks.
You just Shelby. So you just say, what's a phone number for the nearest Home Depot? Or you can, yeah, and if she says, and if she gives a phone number, then and she should ask if you'd like to call them, and then you say yes. Try that.
This is Marty.
Okay, go ahead, Marty.
Shri, I think the best, because I've done something like that too when I'm riding with my wife or something. When you get the address of the the Home Depot, whatever it is that you want, then the next command I would say is, like she might say, is that the location you want? And then you say phone number. So all you got to do is say phone number, and it will give you the number. And then I think you could then give the call command, or just if you can remember that number, just say call and blab off that number, and that should work.
This is Keith.
Okay, thank you, Marty. Go ahead, Keith.
I've had the same thing happen, and it's so frustrating. The one thing that I have done is, as soon as it gives me the Home Depot at Caliber Crossing, and if it says, what do you want to do, and call, and it goes through that cycle, I'll just say, call the Home Depot at Caliber Crossing.
Okay, thank you.
If it gives you that nearest address, just say, call that Home Depot at that address.
All
This is
right.
Kathy.
Yeah, go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, I've had this happen. It's so maddening. I find the best thing is to bang your head on a car window or something until you are senseless.
advice.
But today I was trying to call Walgreens, and there's a couple of them on the same street, and I always get into that thing. You know, first it's which one do you want, and then when you find it, it does the same exact thing. What do you want it? You get into that cycle. So I just said call Walgreens on Yale. And I just figured I'm going to just try. I think it'll come to the one that's closest to me. And if it doesn't, I'd almost rather call the wrong one. And sometimes they'll either connect you or give you the number or whatever. I just thought, and it worked. So I thought, you know, sometimes it's just better to just say call it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kathy.
Does anyone know? Does it usually? Can you rely on it to always call the nearest one? Or
does anybody have any experience with Siri that can answer that question?
This is Keith.
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
I think sometimes it's hit or miss. I mean, that's the theory. It's supposed to pull up the nearest one, but I've calling Wells Fargo, for instance, I usually get the closest one, but every once in a while it will give me one on Lamar, and it's like, that's quite a bit farther. So it's, to me, it's hit or miss.
This is Suva.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that helps you out, Sri.
Thank you.
Okay. Who'd like to go next? Who's got the next question for us?
This is Stephen.
Okay. Hang on. Let's go, Stephen.
I think Suba had a question. I heard him pipe in.
Oh, it was Suba. Go ahead, Suba.
Or he was wanting to comment on the
Yeah, you're right.
Siri.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Stephen. Go ahead, Suba.
Hey, yep. So Shri, to go back to Shri's question, yep. So the HEB, I would sometimes say the nearest HEB, and it brings up a list. Then I would, it goes down the list and say which one I want to choose. I choose one, ask Siri to, this is good. And then it gives you two different options, directions or call. But I did face that bug where it says, when I say call, it will just do nothing. It'll say call who. He'll just go back and say call who, even though I just, guided him to say, I want to call this my nearest HEB. So it might just be a bug that recently introduced, but I need to test it out with more like Walgreens or Home Depot. So, and see if I can find some sort of, that is this an actual bug or if there's something else. But I had this happen like today. So yeah.
This is Shri.
Thank you, Suba. Go ahead, Shri.
Yeah, I think the problem that I'm having is, and maybe this is what I shouldn't do, is say find the closest Home Depot. Maybe the find is what's causing it to, but I'm going to try some of these other suggestions that are giving me, so thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, hopefully that'll work out. Okay, who'd like to go next? Who's got a question for us? Who hasn't had a chance to go, would like to go? Maybe we do have a first timer or somebody who's new to iOS out there.
This is Ned.
Nikki.
Hang on, let's see. I think I heard Ned, and then was that
Nikki.
Nikki? Okay, hang on. Let's let Ned go, and then we'll go to Nikki.
Yeah, so Brad, this is an email question. The other day
Okay.
I was wanting to trash an email or delete it, and I sent it to archive. And so where is archive on the iPhone? I went to my mailboxes and I found, the inbox, the VIP, sent, draft, trash, junk, all mail. But where is archive?
Okay, who can help Ned find his archive folder?
This is Sri.
Sri, go ahead.
So Ned, which email provider are you using?
Gmail.
All right. So basically what you did, you were searching on the Apple mailbox. What you need to do is just go to the mail app, hit the back button until you get all of your mailboxes, and go to your Gmail mailbox and expand that out. And you should have your inbox, your sent, I don't know if Gmail calls it spam or junk. And one of those folders there will be is archive.
Okay, so yes, in my, when I go to that listing of mailboxes, and when I see inbox, and I see all of them, inbox, VIP, junk, trash, all mail, and then below that I see another file that says Gmail, and then I see some of the mailboxes there again repeated, but I didn't remember seeing an archive, so I'll have to go back and try it again.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a feeling there's probably one inbox that's not expanded, and that might be your archive, but it should be there. I suspect it's probably the archive folder for your Gmail.
Okay, so this is Ned. How do I expand? When you say the word expand, what am I doing to expand?
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can double tap on the let's say, for example, you double tap on Gmail, it should expand the subfolders. And if there's subfolders inside those folders, then you double tap to expand that.
Okay.
But I suspect the archive should be one of your main folders, not a subfolders.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So I personally, a long time ago, found it much more easier just to turn the archive mailbox off, because only the iPhone used it. None of my other email programs at the time did. And so it just everything that when I did. So what I suggest, you may want to find the archive folder just so you can purge it. But then afterwards, I would go into the mailbox settings and just turn the archiving off. So that way, when you delete stuff, it actually deletes instead of archives. And you ultimately may find that easier. So I want to just throw that out there once you find your archive folder. And it's been so long that it should, I think, actually show up where you were looking, but you may have to expand that Gmail where it was repeating, and like Shu was talking about, and that's where you would for sure see the archive. But then afterwards, like I said, I would just turn that off and just go to straight delete instead.
Okay.
So this is Ned.
Oh, hang on. Let's see. I heard. Let's hear what Jody's got to say first, Ned, and then we'll go back to you.
Okay.
Well, I'm using the regular mail app on the phone to read my Gmail, and I've also got 3 other email addresses there. So I go to Gmail, I expand it, but when I'm in the inbox and I'm just looking at the inbox, if I go to the search bar at the top and I put in the name or the subject for the email that I've already archived it, so it's not in the inbox. But when I do a search, it seems to search all of the folders, and it will find emails that I've already archived, and I find they're in the trash folder, rather than, I've never seen an archive folder. But if you just do a search from anywhere from the Gmail inbox, you usually will be able to find any of the emails that you've archived.
Okay, thank you, Jody. Okay, go ahead, Ed.
Yes. Yes, after I sent that email to archive, I went through all my boxes that I could find, and I found it living in the all mail box. It was still in the all mail. So that was that issue. But going back to what Herbie said, where is the settings in the email? I've never, that's a new one.
This
for
is
me.
Herbie.
Yes.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So if you open settings on your phone and go to mail.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referring to.
Okay, thank you.
This is Keith.
Thank you, Herbie. Go ahead, Keith.
Another thing you can do is go to the edit button at the top right, and you should be able to go down through that list and find all archives. I actually have archive. You have to move it up in your list for it to show up on your, basically your home screen or your mailbox. I have it up there with all mail and all archive right next to each other, so I can just go into that mailbox really quick. But like some of these other suggestions, it's just how quick you want to get to those emails.
All right. Thank you, Keith. That good, Ned? You got it?
Yes, yes. I will try. I will practice that. That'll be my homework for this week.
All right. Thank you. All right. Now, Nikki has been patiently waiting. So, Nikki, the floor is yours.
No problem. I'm not sure whether this is appropriate to ask here or not, but one of the things I'm having trouble with is my iPhone. The other is my aftershocks. And since I got the last upgrade, every once in a while on my aftershocks, when I hit a key, it doesn't matter which key. Every once in a while, I just hit a key if I'm going to do a text or if I'm going to send something, and I get this beep in my ear. The aftershocks is fully charged. I've never had this problem before. And so I thought, since I was going to be here, I'd ask you. And if we can't solve it, then I'll call aftershocks and see what they have to say. So anybody have any ideas?
Who knows what's going on with Nikki's aftershocks?
This is Sri.
Okay, Sheree, go ahead.
I just have a question. So when it hears the beep, what happens to the aftershock? Does it shut down, or is it still working, or you just hear a beep and it continues?
No, everything's fine. I just hear this beep, and it's almost like smoke detector when it's starting to go. And so I thought, oh, it's my smoke detector when it started the other day, because I had the volume on really low. So I changed the batteries, but the batteries weren't that bad. And then the noise kept coming, and I had the volume up a little bit louder, and I realized it was coming from the aftershock. So, and it's since I got that latest iOS upgrade, 14.7 or 17, something like that. So.
This is Keith.
Go ahead,
Keith. Trey.
No, go ahead, Keith. You might have the answer.
I have a pair of aftershocks, and I've been having the same issue here lately. In fact, I've had a lot of crazy things happening with my aftershocks. It seems like it may be a Bluetooth issue, like when it is losing connectivity, I think it might be. But I also, VoiceOver has been shuddering a little bit with my aftershocks. And the other strange thing that has been happening here lately is if I have my aftershocks on and I plug up my power supply to the anchor or to the lightning port, it will cut off VoiceOver in my aftershocks, and I have to turn off Bluetooth and turn Bluetooth back on for it to come back on. And I even, like someone was mentioning earlier, had that lag. I think it was Marty. I have the same lag in that, and I have to shake my finger on the screen to kind of jumpstart it. But I think it might be a Bluetooth issue.
Interesting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Keith. All right, this is Brad. I might suggest, Nikki, make sure you've got them aftershocks fully charged up, because sometimes when they're low on battery, they may be giving a beep too.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did, and it's very high because I just put them on a little while ago and I hadn't used them earlier today. So, but thank you very much.
Well, good deal. All right. Who's got another question? Who'd like to go next? Don't be shy.
It's Linda.
Linda, go ahead. Linda, excuse me.
Today I was on my phone and for two different phone calls, and I could not hang up the phone. I had to turn my phone off to get it to hang up, which was very strange.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So how were you trying to hang up the phone calls?
I was just going to where the button normally is, where it says, well, I forgot, was it hang up or
End?
what? End, yes. And I couldn't find the end button.
So did you try making sure like your keypad was hidden?
Yes, I looked for that, and it was pressed, and I could not find the end button.
So did you try the two-finger magic tap?
Yes.
And that still didn't do anything?
No.
This is Keith.
Go ahead, Keith.
Linda, sometimes when I have problem, can you get to your app switcher when that happens?
I tried that too.
Oh, wow. You tried everything, it sounds like then.
I think so.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So going on Keith's idea, did you actually try to bring up the phone app?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Shree.
Like actually opening the phone app, not the app switcher, but like actually opening where it says phone, to bring up the app itself and see if that.
Yeah, and that's when I went to the keyboard part of it, and I still couldn't hang up.
Oh, maybe the other person just didn't want to let you go. I don't know.
This is
Anyway,
Shree.
Shree, I think. Has
Yeah.
something to
Okay.
say.
Yeah. I was waiting. Go ahead, Shree.
One question: when you were navigating in this situation, did you hear any voiceover response?
Well, I did because I heard like numbers, on the keypad.
You heard the numbers on the keypad.
So yeah, but not end.
My second question is, do you know if you were in the active call or were you in the phone app keypad? Because you could be on an active call and open up a keypad and there is no hang button there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was just talking to someone and just normal.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you. I'm sorry, this is Shree. That's why I was asking you if you heard the prompts. As you were touching the screen, you heard the keypad, but you didn't hear the hang up button, right? But you heard all the other key numbers?
Correct.
Yeah, I suspect you were just on a keypad and you had an active call. Like if you went to the top left-hand corner, if you went there, you would hear that there was an active call.
Okay.
But one other thing, I'm sorry, the two-finger double tap should have still worked, and I'm not sure why the two-finger double tap didn't work. But I can picture that you not having a hang-up button if you just open up a keypad while you're on an active call.
This is Suva.
Go ahead, Suba.
So did you say you were able to hear voiceover? To go back to Shree's question, were you able to hear voiceover or any of the feedbacks voiceover gives you, like those little, what do you call those sounds? The little dump sound or clicking whenever you're trying to press on something or anything, any type of voiceover feedbacks.
I just heard the numbers on the keypad.
And then voiceover was saying those numbers? Sorry about that. This is Suva. Yeah, I wouldn't know what this is. This is Suva. I never seen that bug. That is a new one.
This is Candy.
Go ahead, Shandy.
One thing, when all else fails, if you happen to have a pair of headphones, earbuds, or whatever around, and you hook that up to your phone and press the, like on the Apple the Apple EarPods where the little, you can automatically hang it up with that. That will work every time if you get, am I making sense in what I'm saying?
Yes, and I actually had my earbuds on, and I will try that next time.
that will always get you out of it.
Thank you.
This is Herbie.
Yes, go ahead, Herbie.
Just one last thought, though, I had. So once the other person hangs up, that should, within like 30 seconds, roughly, that should have also disconnected the call.
Well, it was funny because one of the calls I was talking to my husband and he didn't hang up and I could hear him walking.
Okay.
This is Steven.
Go ahead, Stephen.
Linda, is this the first time that's happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Sounds to me like it's maybe just one of those glitches where, yeah, the only thing you can do is just having to restart your phone and it clears everything up. If it's happening more frequently, then yeah, there's a definite bug in there. But I just was wondering if that's happened to you before.
No, today was the first time and it happened twice. We'll
Oh,
see
it
what
happened
happens
twice.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, so it did happen more than once then.
Yeah, twice today.
Okay, well that does sound like some kind of an interesting bug then.
This is Suba.
Yeah, go ahead, Suba.
May I ask which type of device it was? Which version of iPhone or model of iPhone?
I have an iPhone 8.
iPhone 8. I'm using the same one. Can I recreate that? Sorry, but this is Suba. Can you help me recreate that situation? So just a regular call, or what? What can I do to recreate the situation?
Oh, it was just a regular call to my husband. Another call was to a company, and I just was listening to their recording at the end. They didn't hang up right away because it was giving me their recording that they do at the end of their call.
I'm gonna try. This is Suba. I'm gonna try to call, I would say 4 or 5 people together and see if I can recreate this bug, because I have the same iPhone 8 Plus, and see if I can come up with something. That is definitely interesting.
Okay.
This is Sri.
All right, Sri, let's see what you let's try to
I
wrap
was
this
just gonna
up.
say, I think you experienced a onesie that the phone app just got stuck. It got hung. Because the things that we suggested should 99.9% of the time should work, and all the other remaining point whatever percentage is because something got stuck.
This is
All right.
Keith, real quick.
Yeah, real quick, Keith, and then let's
I
move
just
on.
made a call real quick, and while the call was without headphones, I was having a hard time swiping. But as soon as I turned my headphones on, I could swipe down, and there was an end button there. But while I was off the headphones, it was having a hard time picking up the gesture for whatever reason.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Keith. Well, hopefully we can just play with it. Maybe Shree's right. Linda is just a unique situation and hopefully won't repeat itself for you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Who's got another question for us? Let's see what other issue we can tackle.
This is Dan.
Kathy.
Hold it. Who did I hear? I think I heard Dan first, and then was that Kathy? We'll go to you next.
Yeah, Kathy can go first. Ladies.
Okay,
No.
Kathy, Dan yields to you.
Oh, thank you. This is kind of related, not the same, much more frivolous, but I was trying to play solitaire, and somebody interrupted me, and I was moving a card, and so it was, if anybody's played any of those blind things, you get this little drum beat when you're trying to move something. And it was the same thing. I was trapped. I just needed to stop my phone so I could talk to somebody, and I couldn't. Was doing this drum beat, and I tried just getting out of the app, like doing this, going into the same kind of thing, But it's just like, is there a thing that you can do? I tried doing the Z scrub, and I tried just, I wonder if the up down shut off would have worked. I mean, there's some time when you just need the phone to stop and it won't. Is there a
Yeah. Who can help Kathy when she just wants her phone to stop? Who can suggest something for her?
This is Chanel.
Okay, Chanel.
Yeah, so Kathy, were you trying to get the cards in the game to stop, or that sound to stop?
Well, I was in the game and the sound was there on purpose. You know, I was moving
Right.
a card, but I still need help with it if we can figure out a way. But it was just I couldn't stop it. I think I did 3 fingers to the left, or no, you shake it to stop the. I think I tried the normal things to
Yeah,
like
you can
stop the
shake it to.
turn.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you.
It's okay. Go ahead, Chanel.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You can, and I forget the gesture. I honestly haven't been playing those in a while because I've been playing on my computer. But yeah, I do believe it's a shake to stop it. And then, but yeah, if your phone, I mean, otherwise, if voiceover is just jabbering at you, you can do a 2-finger single tap on the phone to
Right, just
silence that speech or pause it.
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
I usually just hit the power button and lock the screen, and that shuts off everything with the phone.
Okay.
Okay, good advice. Well, try some of those, Kathy, and see if that works for you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Ned. I'm sorry, it was Dan. Excuse me.
Okay. Some people were mentioning the aftershocks, and I would like to pick up an aftershocks sometime because I want to use it with Microsoft's navigation program. And I'm wondering what's the setup procedure on that? Because I noticed Mystic Access has a tutorial. It must be pretty complicated. So what's the setup procedure on the aftershocks?
Okay. Who can help Dan setting up some aftershocks? Who's familiar with the aftershocks?
This is Keith. If nobody else has anything.
Go ahead, Keith, if nobody else.
They're really, really easy. You charge them up, and I have the AeroPex and the OpenCom, and they both have a magnetic charger. Basically, there's a little slot here, and the end of the charger has a little male tip, and there's a magnet. As soon as it connects, you can feel it. So if you have your headphones fully charged, basically on the right side, you'll feel 2 buttons, and the button closer to your ear is actually the on off button. And if you just hold it and then hold it down for like, I think it's 10 seconds, you'll hear it actually say, I believe it either says pairing or you'll hear a sound. And as soon as it does that, it will show up in your Bluetooth settings at the bottom. And basically you can double tap I believe it says AeroPex. It actually says the model name, and you can just double tap that and it will connect right up. It's really, really easy.
This is Brad. I'd like to add, yeah, if pretty much any Bluetooth device, if it's not paired with anything that's in range, especially if it's like a new device that's not paired with anything, if you just turn it on, it will go after a couple of seconds into pairing mode because it can't find anything. And like Keith said, have that Bluetooth settings open and it will show up in the bottom area down there. It's real simple.
Okay, this is Dan. All right, so after you pair it and you put on the aftershocks, will it instantly start screening out extraneous noise, and you can just use it without you can use it to deal with your environment without any problems?
This is Keith.
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
So your ears almost trained to them because they're actually wrapped around your ears and do not go into your ears. So your ears kind of trained to, when you have something playing on your aftershocks, they'll kind of tune into the aftershocks, and they do play through your jawbones and through your ears. So, it's in tune to what's going on your aftershocks. But if somebody walks up to you within range, you'll be able to hear them pretty much instantly. Your surrounding is right there. As soon as somebody or something comes within range, you'll be able to hear them. But after you wear them for a while, you'll be able to train in on whatever's playing on your aftershocks. And there's also the two buttons I mentioned. The forward button, you can actually turn up the volume, and the back button toward the back of your head, you can actually turn down the volume. And also the back button, if you press it, it will tell you the charge of your aftershocks. And the good thing about aftershocks as well is on your status line where it shows the Bluetooth, it will give you the charge of your aftershocks. So you have a couple of places to check that as well. But yeah, your ears just get used to, what it needs to hear. And I've worn these in the gym and working out and listening to a podcast, and as soon as as noisy as the gym is, I can hear the podcast or the music, but if somebody walks up, I'll be able to hear them.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
This is Sri.
Yeah, go ahead, Sri.
Now, this is a question about these. Would somebody who's standing next to you, would they also hear it?
This is Keith.
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
I found with the older versions, like the titaniums, there is a lot of bleed in the titaniums, but the newer ones, not as much unless you just have them cranked way up. But usually if you have it at a moderate volume, I can take mine off and hold them up, and I can barely hear them. You'll be able to hear some, but not very much.
Yeah, this is Brad. I have a pair of those Aeropex, and they are very, very good. I had some of the original Aftershock Blues. And yeah, what Keith said is right. They bleed a lot. And depending upon your environment, if you're in a quiet environment, people around you can hear them just as well as you can. But these new ones are phenomenal. They're very nice, and they're light, and I use them for lots of different things. I like them with Ira. They're very good with that. I imagine they're really good with Soundscape because of the stereo. And I recommend them.
This is Dan. What was the?
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
What's the name of the new ones? What's Aeropack? Is that it?
Aeropek, AEROPEK. Is that it, Keith? I think that's it.
It's either K or X.
Yeah, it's X. It's X. That's
Pex. Aeropex. There you go.
AEROPEX.
Aeropex. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I got them through Amazon. So they come in all different colors, but not that I can tell what color is what. So
I don't care.
Yeah, me either. Go ahead, Sri.
Do you know what the typical cost for these things are?
This is Brad. I think I paid $159. They're not on sale very often. It's kind of like a lot of things. Sony, Apple, the company dictates what the retailer can sell them for. And every now and then you might find them on sale, but not very often.
All right.
All right. Where are we on time?
We are at the midpoint, sir. All right.
All right. We made it.
You made it. Okay. It was pretty busy there. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
So we will give everybody a chance who didn't get to say hello the first time around. We'd love for you to say hello and where you're from. So who would like to go first? Just have to unmute and say your name and where you're from if you didn't get to say hi the first time. Anybody?
This is Joe from Norman.
Kathy from Joe, welcome.
This is Rose from Philadelphia.
Hi, welcome, Rose. Glad to have you.
Anissa, Philadelphia.
Hey,
Hi.
Anissa, welcome.
Jake Suva from Houston.
Hey there, Suva.
Hello.
Jake from Michigan. Carol, welcome. Anybody else want to say hello?
Candy from New Orleans.
Hey there, lady. Nice to have you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. Good deal. All right. So you're actually a new caller on here. Do you want to quickly say how you heard about us? Miss Candy, putting you on the spot.
No, I get. I think I heard about from Clubhouse.
Ah, yes, you were there.
And then also I get the iBUG today email.
Wonderful. Well, we're super glad you're here, and we're glad you're a part of the call. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to say hello? Okay. So real quick summary of with this week. After our busy week last week, and we Sri did a wonderful cafe yesterday talking about labeling apps, and that should be up on our website fairly soon, and or YouTube. They're also available there and on the podcast app. So be looking out for that. So for this week, tomorrow on Clubhouse, Mini Buzz from 5 to 6, all times central, talking about the same kind of things that we're doing here, but on a different platform. We will be on Clubhouse, so we hope that you will join us. If we don't get to all of your questions today, we can hopefully help you tomorrow. Then on Thursday, iBUG Vila Book Club. We are reading The Hot Zone DB 40,695. It's a 10-hour book. Start now. You'll be there, and you can read all about the outbreak of the Ebola virus. Not exactly light reading, but quite intriguing. Definitely, really, it's a page turner. Then, I think we have this iBUG night at the virtual movies on Friday night, 8 o'clock Central, 7:30 for the Central for the music trivia and a few jokes and so forth, a little bit of silliness. And then we have a discussion afterward the movie. But for those amazing, perplexing, and thought-provoking clues, we now turn to the magnificent and lovely iBUG Guy. iBUG Guy, are you there?
Shush! I'm on the phone. Okay, I'm here. Yes. All right. What are we supposed to be doing? Oh, we're doing the movie clues, yes. But before we do a movie clue, I just have a question for you. Is a word no longer a word if it's been removed from the dictionary?
No.
Oh, too bad. I noticed one of my favorite words, they recently removed it from the dictionary, so I don't guess I could use it anymore. Brabble.
I don't even want to know.
I always like to get into a good brabble with other people.
I'm sure you'll
I thought
tell
that was
us.
Brad's whole name.
Now you can't even go look it up to see what it means.
You just made that up. All right, how about some clues?
All right, let's do our clues. Did you already say the time and all that good stuff?
Yes, you were
All
too busy
right.
brabbling.
Everybody knows what time, and okay. All right, so join us Friday for our movie this week.
Wait. What's the segment called?
What is it? Marco's Movie Show.
Oh.
Welcome everyone to the next episode. All right, let's get into the clues. Clue number 1. Our film this week is a sophisticated, chilling, and sinister thriller.
Oh, and just to recall the rules, please say your name and wait to be recognized. Don't yell out the answer. All right.
No yelling out the answer or we will ban you.
Okay. This is Shri.
Shri.
Is it Cape Fear?
Cape Fear. That's a very chilling but not sinister thriller. Oh, that's not it either. Or that's not it? Sorry. Good guess, though. That was a really good guess. All right. Anybody else? Moving on to clue number 2. Clue number 2. We see the husband that has a perfect plan to have his wife murdered.
This is Mark in Montreal.
Mark in Montreal, go ahead.
Dial M for murder.
Dial M for murder. That's another good guess. And actually, that is it. Ding, 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 ding. Yes, that's right. Way to go, Mark.
Holy cow.
Holy
Got
cow.
it on clue number 2.
Wow.
We didn't
Better
even
than
have
Brad.
to get to our other clues.
Necessarily.
Saved us from 3 more clues. Way to go, Mark.
Well, my best clue was that the
what is it?
lead female was a favorite of the director and starred in 3 of his films. Later to become a princess.
This is Ned Grace Kelly. Oh,
yes, that's
Absolutely.
correct.
All right.
Name the other 2 Hitchcock
This
films.
is Brad.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Rear
Brad.
Window.
Rear Window.
Dial M for Murder. And To Catch a Thief.
Was it To Catch a Thief?
Yes, that's correct.
That's it.
That's it.
It's the
Okay,
trifecta.
Very good.
doubt
very
me?
good. Very good.
It's sad when the guy who runs it doesn't know if the answer's right.
I do.
And To Catch a Thief was filmed on the French Riviera, and that's where she met.
Oh, that's right. Prince Rainier.
All right.
And guess what? This particular film, Hitchcock did not even consider this to be a Hitchcock. He didn't want it listed as a Hitchcock film.
Oh,
wow.
Can we go forward? Can we go on?
Okay. All right. Johnny,
prize?
what do we have for our winner this week?
I thought you'd never ask, Mr. iBUG guy. For our dear friend Mark way up there, we're going to give you a rotary dial phone. I know some of you may not even know what those are. This involves a phone with a handle. It is a handset connected by a whole real wire to a base that has a dial, which is literally it has little holes and then you spin it around. So for us blind people, you have to count the number of holes to figure out what number you are dialing. And that's where we got dial M for murder.
This is Brad.
Yeah, they were really cool in the day, and everybody else had a touch-tone phone, and all we had was a dial phone.
Yeah, hang on.
That sucked. I thought it took me so long to figure out where does the one? Is it on the right or is it on the left with the touch-tone phone? Because everybody else had one, except my father was too cheap at the time to get touch-tone service.
All right. Well, now you are going to have your very own dial phone, and you can sit there. And of course, it'll be in iBUG colors. So the handset will be black, the wire is white, and the phone will be red. So you'll have your very own red phone. Who knew?
Yay! My bathroom phone. I love it.
Of course, that was back in the day when phone numbers were only 5 numbers long,
Yeah,
so you didn't have to
10
go
digits.
through.
Okay, well, very good. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Mark, for helping and winning this, winning our
Could have
contest
given him
today.
a pair of scissors.
Oh, that too. All right. Okay. Very good. So we are now. Thank you, Mr. McCulloch. Would you like to say good night,
Yes,
Mr. McCulloch?
thank you, everyone, for playing Michael Movie Melissa.
All right. Say good night, Mr. McCulloch.
Good night, Mr. McCullough,
All right.
wherever you are.
All right. Very good. All right. So here we go. We are back to our regularly scheduled program, and we are going to be entertaining questions from you, our callers. So if you have not had a chance to ask a question, we would love to hear from you. I know it goes pretty fast here, so we're really trying to keep things moving and not spend too much time on a single issue. So do you have a question? Say your name, and we will try to help you. So who has a question? And then remember to stay tuned at the soon at the 9 o'clock hour, we will have our iBUG Bites helpful hint segment.
This is Dee.
Yes, ma'am. Let's hear it. How are you? What you got?
I'm fine. My question is, would the iBUG guy like to know how the dictionary came to be written?
I'm sure he would, but do you have a question?
Yes, that was my question. Would he like to know?
Oh, well, I'm going to speak for him now. He doesn't have a choice. Not now.
I think he would like to know.
Well, if you want,
I'm going to tell him.
Okay.
One night, Mr. and Mrs. Webster got into an argument, and one word led to another.
Oh,
I promise not to waste any more time. Thank you.
That was pretty bad. All right, very good. Very good, Dee. Thank you.
Doesn't it sound like one Mike would like?
Yes, it does. It does. On that level. Okay, thank you, Dee. All right.
Yep.
Who's
This is
next?
Deb.
Deb, go ahead.
Yes, I've got kind of a curious thing that's going on with my phone, in that it doesn't seem like the left speaker is putting out any sound. And I wonder if there's a setting somewhere. I tried to find it in settings, that maybe I've somehow got that unbalanced or something. Does anybody have any idea about that?
All right.
Jody.
Well, okay, go ahead, Jody.
If you go to your accessibility features and go to hearing, or it might even be under vision. Anyway, there's audio settings, and you can select left speaker, right speaker, or both, because I guess for people that are hearing impaired, if they only hear out of one ear, they might want to change that. So you will find those settings in the accessibility features. And then I have a quick question. I just got a phone call during Michael's announcement of the movie, and I missed it. What's the movie going to be?
The movie is Dial M for Murder.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
This is Sri.
Okay. Okay, yes, Sri.
I just wanted to ask the question, did you ever go into accessibility?
Yes, I actually have, and I didn't see any place where it said what she was just talking about.
Okay.
So I did go into that section, and I just didn't see it.
This is Sri.
Go ahead.
The reason I brought that up is, if you didn't go there, you might want to call Apple Accessibility and have them do a diagnostic just to make sure that you don't have a hardware issue.
Okay.
Especially if you say you didn't go to like accessibility and go to that the audio section or the headphone section of the audio, then I would, or I'm sorry, just the audio section.
This is Marty.
Okay, go ahead, Marty.
What type of phone do you have, Jody?
Or actually, Deb. Deb, go ahead.
I'm
What type of
sorry,
phone?
yeah.
It's okay. Go ahead.
It's the SE.
Okay.
2020 SE.
Oh, okay. Because are you sure? Because those two speakers are so close, it's really hard to tell left and right. But what that person was telling you about in accessibility, it's not left and right speaker. I think under audio settings, it's left and right balance. And
Yeah, I
you want to
didn't
make sure
see
that,
hang on.
yeah, it's
Go ahead,
there, and you'll see it. It should be like at 50%. That's the default.
Okay, I'll look there again and see if I see it.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Great question, Deb. Thank y'all. Okay. Very good. Who's next? No, somebody else hasn't had a turn, wants to ask a question. Problems you're having with your phone or other peripherals. Who would like to ask a question?
This is Mark in Montreal.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I've got a weird one, and it's not me. It's my friend Earl in Toronto, who's been on here a couple of times, I think, over the years. He's having issues with his iMessage on his phone. And when he records an iMessage, sometimes it flattens out right in the middle and just goes real low when he's recording. And I thought he might have an earphone issue, but he's not. He's recording right from the phone speaker. So he's thinking he's got a hardware issue with iMessage and might have to take his phone in and have Apple do an analysis on it at the Apple store in Toronto because it keeps crapping out on him. I told him to try a pair of earbuds or something just to see if he can iMessage normally. But I know I had way problems back with a 5S or something like that back in the day. The same thing with iMessage. It was just bad on that particular phone. It just gave up the ghost after a while and went real low. And the only way to record an iMessage properly in that instance was to put in a set of earbuds or headphones of some sort to record your message.
So hold
Has
on. So
anybody
just to
else had an issue with iMessage?
right. So just to clarify, so your question is when your friend is recording his iMessage, it starts going really low. So then the person who gets the message can't even hear the message. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's what happened to me yesterday.
All right. Okay. Anybody had this issue with the iMessage? Anybody with a lowering volume, but you are able to resolve it or work around it if you wear headphones. That's what you're saying.
Well, I made a suggestion based on my experience back when I had the 5S. That's all I could do, you know, like he was having battery issues or something else going on. So he's going to go to the Apple store anyway, but this is just something else.
Okay.
He's running the beta of 15, so that could be a problem too.
All right, hang on. Let's see. Anybody have any help for Mark?
Brad,
Brad, go ahead.
I'm thinking proximity sensor could be doing something to, but it's the microphone, right? But I don't know. This just makes me think it's got something to do with the proximity sensor, because you say when they use a Bluetooth microphone, a Bluetooth device, that kind of knocks the proximity sensor out
Apple
of the
regular
mix.
headphones, Brad. Regular
Well,
headphones.
that does it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that does it even better. That does it too. That will, proximity sensor is no longer in the mix. That makes me think. I don't know.
All right.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
So what about if he's on like a phone call or anywhere else? Does it do the same thing?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
And what about recording a voice message in some place like WhatsApp or something like that?
Nope. Just iMessage.
I think it's some software bug, because I think if it was hardware, the problem would show itself in multiple places, not just iMessage.
Okay, hang on. Shree, go ahead.
One question. Now, when you get the file, you actually hear dead air or you hear low volume?
Well, his message started out for about 10 seconds normal, and then it went right flat, like it went right down to about a third of what it was. And it was like a very bad pair of earphones, Bluetooth earphones. That's what it sounded like. But it wasn't, because he told me after. I said, you're going to have to re-record me, send me your message again, because, and he sent it on WhatsApp, because he didn't realize he was having an issue with iMessage at the time. And when he went back to listen to it, he realized there was something going on there with iMessage, because he did a couple of tests after and he couldn't get it to come back.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any help for Mark?
Actually, this is Herbie. One other thing.
Go ahead.
So did he try sending you another audio iMessage?
Yeah, he's tried several.
Okay, so it's not just a one. Okay.
All right. May have to just go to the Apple store like he's already doing. So
Yeah, he's pretty well versed in technology. So I was just curious if anybody else has had the issue is all.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Very good question there. Good luck. All right, who's next? Somebody new has not had a turn, wants to ask a question, has a problem. Anybody?
This is Shree.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so my question is, it's a Bluetooth question. So I was paired with the Powerbeats on my iPhone 8 Plus. It was paired, and I left it in my bedroom. And I took my 12 with me downstairs, and I realized that I could not hear my 12 at all. so my first suspicion was, okay, my 12 has somehow connected to the Bluetooth to the device that's upstairs, but I could not, obviously I couldn't hear anything because it was probably talking to Bluetooth, but I did ask Siri to turn my Bluetooth off and it didn't. And the only thing I could do was go upstairs and, physically turn the Bluetooth unit off. So I was wondering, is that because of the auto sensing of the devices? Is that why it switched, or did I just experience a quirkiness?
All right. Any issues with this? Any thoughts on Three's problem with his phone connecting with his Power Beat?
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an auto sensor to me. And the reason why Siri couldn't turn off Bluetooth is she couldn't hear you because she was listening through the Bluetooth headphones, which were upstairs and you're downstairs. But yeah, it sounds like an auto sensor to me. It's trying to decide which phone it wants to connect to, and maybe your old phone, your 12 got too close to the headphones and it just automatically switched. I think you can turn that off, but I've never paired multiple phones with my Beats, so I've never had that
This is
particular
Marty.
issue.
All right, thank you, Herbie. Go ahead, Marty.
Are those Power Beats like the AirPods where they are connected like via the cloud? Because I noticed the AirPods and the AirPods Max, there's some kind of a cloud connection, or that's how you, because I had my watch connect once or twice without even wanting to do that. And I was just wondering if that has anything to do with why you had trouble.
All
Because are
right.
they Apple headphones, those Power Beats?
Yes, pretty sure they're part of Apple, right, Sri? And just to remind everybody, if you're going to be speaking, we really need you to minimize background noise because
I'm sorry.
yeah, thank you. That's okay. All right, so Sri, go ahead.
Yeah, and those are Apple. I guess my next question I was going to ask is, does anyone know how to turn it off? But if not, I'll take a look.
This is Shelby.
Okay, Shelby.
It could be your signal because I have the same issue with connectivity. If I'm from far away from my phone, sometimes the signal will go out, and then when I get back in range, it comes back.
All right, thank you,
This
Shelby.
is Brad.
Brad.
If it's like the AirPods Pro, I don't think maybe the regular AirPods do this too, but the Pro and the Pro Max definitely have a feature that allows them to connect automatically to a device. And if you open your Bluetooth settings, go to the device in your Bluetooth list, and it's like if they're Power Beats, they are like the AirPods. They will show up on all your devices signed into the same iCloud account. Find the device, what did you say they were? Power Beats Pro. Flick with your rotor set to actions, flick either up or down to more info, and you should find the settings for the device. And there should be, forgive me if I don't call what's called right, connect to iPhone, and you tap that and it will say always connect or when last connected. And if they're always connected, the things tend to have a mind of their own and they connect the devices when you don't really want them to. So you might look at that and adjust that to your taste.
All right. Well, Sri, I hope that helps you out. Pretty interesting issue there. Yes, that's happened. Yes, it happens. When you can't hear anything and you're wondering what happened because it paired without telling you. So, okay, Sri, we hope that helps you out.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, who's next? Somebody else? Any new issues they want to talk about?
This is Rose.
Hello, Rose, go ahead.
Yes, I have my same cards just put on my phone, my 8 Plus phone. So it seemed like I lost my voice over practice. I got to accessibility. I used to get voice over practice on accessibility. I seem like something is missing there. I could not get voice over practice. on it.
Oh.
What should I do now?
Okay, who would like to help Rose find voiceover practice under accessibility? Anybody have any troubleshooting ideas for voiceover with?
This is Suva.
Suva, go ahead.
Hey, Rose. So
Hey, Suva.
it is, you're looking for the voiceover practice, correct?
Yes.
Under accessibility, you have voiceover button. It's going to
Yes.
say voiceover. You click on it. And I believe it's about fourth or the fifth one after that, you're going to see, or you're going to find voiceover practice. So you have to click on that.
All right.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I tried that because I tried voiceover. I click on, maybe I tap on it too fast. That's what I cannot get the
So
practice.
accessibility and then voiceover button and then voiceover practice.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I tried that. Thank you, Suba.
All right. Thank you. Good question, Rose. Good job. Okay. All right. Let's see. Who's next? Well, a quick question. It would have to be a quick question because we're getting ready to do our iBUG bites. Anybody have a really quick question? Or nobody?
Rose and Jody.
Jody, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Rose, you could also do a 4-finger double tap to do voiceover practice.
Okay, 4-finger double tap. Thank
And
you.
then you do a 4-finger double tap to turn it off, or you hit your home button if you have one.
All right.
Okay,
Good.
thank you. I
Good
tried that.
suggestions there, Jody. Thank you. Okay, well, you know what? We will go ahead and call it the top of the hour as we get ready. So Brad will be doing a segment real quick, and then we will unmute. It'll be a short segment, and then we'll return with any questions for Brad, and then we'll resume our session. So 1 second. Brad, you ready almost?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. All right, so you will have to unmute Brad.
All right. Am I back?
You are back.
All righty. For a little iBUG Bites segment this week. Last week, we had somebody ask a question about how to prevent their phone from horizontal vertical lock and lock screen rotation. And the answer, of course, was in the control center. And it made me think that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of this handy little feature and what all is in the control center. So I thought we'd spend a brief little few minutes here and take a look at what's in the control center. So let's see, I'm gonna open I have an iPhone 12 Pro, and this feature is available on all iPhones. And we'll go over how to access it and what's in it. So
2100 hours.
let's see, can you hear that, Sandhya?
2100 hours.
Is that
Make
good?
it a
loud
little
enough?
bit louder.
2100 hours.
There. That's
2100 hours.
That's
How
good.
about
That's
that?
good. Yes, thank you.
2100 hours.
Oh, I'm going to unlock my iPhone.
Calendar. Monday, August 9th.
I'm on my home screen. And there's a couple different ways to get to this, depending upon whether you have a iPhone with a home button or not. But the good old-fashioned way will work on both phones. If you put your finger on the status bar,
WBSJR.
and
Airport 5
that
gigahertz.
is my
3
status bar.
Wi-Fi bars.
And if
Status bar item.
I do a 3-finger swipe up,
Control center. Airplane mode.
I
Switch
am
button.
in the control center. And it, of course, will start in the upper left-hand corner of the control center. And you heard it say airplane mode, which leads me to my first one. That's the first item in the control center. And this is a real quickie way you can, when you're flying or traveling or something, and you want to very quickly get to turn on or off airplane mode, here it is. It's in the control center. No more need to go to your settings app and to toggle that on or off. There are a lot of other things in here, and you can explore this area by touch, or you can swipe, use your one finger and swipe left to right. We find here we have
Cellular data. Switch button.
you
On.
can turn your cellular data
Actions
on
available.
or off.
Wi-Fi. WBSJR.
You can turn your Wi-Fi on or off.
Bluetooth. Not connected. Switch button.
Well, there's a Bluetooth switch, and let me point out something that's different about this Bluetooth. If you go into your settings app and turn Bluetooth off completely, you have turned off the Bluetooth radio. What this one does is kind of a little different. And they started doing this, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 versions of iOS ago. This will leave certain things like my Apple Watch connected. I have it turned off because I'm using my AirPod Max headphones. And just like I explained a second ago, they will kind of have a mind of their own and connect to things. So if I'm in the middle of this iBUG Buzz call and my phone should happen to ring, which it won't because I remember to turn on Control Center, they might automatically connect to the phone when I answer it, even though I don't want them to. So one nice thing about this Bluetooth on-off toggle is it will leave my Apple Watch connected, but it will prevent connections from things like headphones and other Bluetooth devices. So that's a very handy option there. I also have
lock rotation.
Lock rotation. There's the lock rotation button. Mine is turned on at all times because I don't want my rotation to lock.
Do not disturb. Switch button.
There's
on.
do not disturb. It's turned on because I'm in the middle of the iBUG Buzz call and I don't want to be disturbed. Other things that are in here we have now playing.
Not playing.
Not playing because it's not playing anything. But here's it would tell us if I had music playing recently or a podcast.
Playback destination. Button.
I can adjust my playback. That is, I believe that's AirPlay is what that also is.
Previous track. Dimmed. Play. Button. Next track.
So there's our player controls.
Lock rotation.
Do
not disturb. Brightness.
I'm doing
70%.
I can adjust my brightness.
Actions available.
And I can do that. You heard it say actions available. And then
actions. Adjust value.
See, I am on adjust value. So I can swipe
80%. 70%.
I can swipe up or down and adjust my screen brightness if I so choose to.
Volume.
Here I can adjust my volume, which is also the same as doing on the side buttons if I've got them set.
81%, 91%, 81, 71, 81%.
I can adjust my volume. Now that's the top section. The bottom section
screen mirroring
is a bit more customizable. Here there's a screen mirroring button that is for when I want to say cast my device's screen to another device. I don't often do that, so I'm a little bit at a loss on familiarity on using that one.
Flashlight.
Flashlight. This is the section I want.
Actions
this
available.
Is the customizable section. There are some of these things are in here by default to begin with, but they can be removed. We have a flashlight. Timer.
Calculator.
Calculator.
Button. Camera. Button. Screen recording. Button.
That's a screen recording.
Actions available. Apple TV remote. Button. Low power mode. Button. Code scanner. Button.
Code scanner that can be used to read QR codes and things of that nature.
Hearing devices. Button. Magnifier. Button.
Magnifier. Now these are all things that can be customized. They can be added to the control center or removed. You can put other things. You can find a list of these customizable options if you go into your settings app, scroll down to Control Center, and in there's a number of controls for Control Center. I'm not going to take the time to go in there. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can determine whether you want it accessible from the lock screen or if you want it accessible while you're in an app. Or then there is a list of all these apps that can either be added to or taken away from this lower section of the control center, so you can customize it to your taste. Like I said, things like the flashlight, the calculator, some of those things are in there by default when you first get your phone. They can be removed. I obviously added hearing devices. I added the magnifier because I have a 12 Pro, which has the LiDAR feature, and the magnifier is where the feature that allows you to determine distance, like if you're in a grocery shopping line and you want to maintain proper distance from the person in front of you, and it will give you various alerts to help you maintain your social distancing. So there's a number of things here, but I just wanted to go over quickly the control center and what's in it. It's a very, very helpful feature. that a lot of people forget about. Oh, yes. And I can dismiss it by just doing a one finger swipe up from the bottom of my 12. Or if
Calendar.
I'm on a phone with a home button, just press the home button and it will dismiss it. And that's my iBUG bite for this week.
Very cool, Brad. Thank you. And that is definitely a very important place to be aware of. And thank you. That was great. Does anybody have any questions for Brad, or anybody say your name and wait to be recognized if you have a question or a follow-up or any kind of issue with the control center?
Nikki?
This is Marty. Oh,
Okay, Nikki and then Marty. Go ahead.
okay.
I just want to say thank you because it really is important. And I discovered it a long time ago, but after about 6 years after having an iPhone. So this is very valuable. Thank you very much, Brad.
All right. Okay. And Marty, go ahead.
Brad, how do you get to the first item of the control center? I know you can swipe left, but what's the quick way?
Well, first thing it's going to do when you open the control center, just like when you unlock your phone, it will tend to default to putting focus on the item that is in the upper left corner of your home screen. When you open the control center, you heard it say airplane mode. That item is in the upper left corner of the control center. And that is where focus tends to go by default when the control center is first opened.
If for some reason your focus is further down on this screen, it's Marty. Is there a way to get to that first item with is there a gesture?
I suppose you could do the 4-finger tap towards the top of the screen. Let's give it a try. And
okay.
Here, let's try that. Now, that's a good question.
Calendar. Edit mode.
No, not edit mode. Stop that.
93% back. Control center. Home. Airplane mode.
Okay,
Switch
let's
button.
put it.
Apple TV remote.
I put it down here towards the bottom. So
Actions
I'm going to do a 4-finger single tap towards the top of the screen.
Airplane mode. Switch
And
button.
it did
Off.
it. So a 4-finger single tap towards the top of the screen, put my focus in the far upper left corner of the control center.
Thanks.
All right, great. Thank you, Marty, for that question. Anybody else follow up for Brad on the control center? I had a question.
And I advise doing a little explore by touch. I find when I swipe, there's a left-hand section that's got some toggle buttons, and then there's the upper right section that has the now playing the player controls, and then below that is the brightness and the volume. So if you're trying to swipe left to right, it is kind of going to jump at some point from left hand to right hand section, even though it hasn't completely finished going through the left hand section. It just kind of does what it does, but the more you use it, the more you'll get used to it.
All right, very good. Thank you, Brad. Okay, so who has a new question? Somebody has a new question?
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
What is the mirroring? I'm not familiar with that.
Screen mirroring is that. It's not the same. It's similar, but not the same as casting your screen. Casting your screen is like with a Chromecast or similar device, similar to AirPlay. Screen casting is something, well, I've done it using mirroring. I mean, I have done it with using Ira. Ira can use TeamViewer. You use it on your desktop computers that allows Ira to take control, see what's on your screen and actually take control. The iPhone works a little differently. They can't take control, but using the screen recording feature, it will actually allow them to see what's on your screen. Another use of screen recording, was that what we were asking?
Screen mirroring.
Screen mirroring is the casting. That's like you casting it to an Apple TV or another device. I've not really done that much, like ever.
This is Sandhya. So actually, okay, well, does anybody else want to talk about screen mirroring? Somebody sound like they were about to.
This is Shree.
Go ahead, Trey.
No, I can talk after you.
That's it. It's fine. Go ahead.
So basically, what we use screen mirroring for is, like Brad was alluding to, is we connect it to our Apple TV. So we could be having something on our phone. Let's say if I have my family over and we've taken some pictures, we screen mirror it to our big TV, and what's displayed on our iPhone will be displayed on the big screen TV, and that's kind of what we use it for, just so that what's showing up on our phone will show up on big screen using the Apple TV to screen mirror.
Perfect.
Kathy?
Yes, go ahead, Kathy.
Can you use it on things like Netflix, or is it just for, like, if my brother was asking me how to do that, like he's got his iPhone, but then he can't make it go to the big TV.
All right, Tree.
Yeah, so basically, what's happening on your phone? Like I've watched Netflix or like any kind of videos that might be on my phone. I'll screen mirror it to through the Apple TV. You can also I've used screen mirroring for my daughter if she wanted to connect her laptop to a big screen TV while she's typing away. That way, she's got a bigger screen. Sometimes doing that, you'll get a little bit of a lag. What you type may not show up on the screen right away, but for videos and stuff, it does a pretty good job of being pretty instant. But you can definitely watch. Well, if you're watching Netflix on your phone, you can definitely screen mirror it to a TV.
And this is Sandhya. I'll share one more application. We actually had a family member, I guess they got into med school or something, and they had a video clip on Facebook, and I wanted my family to see it. So just, you can even play Facebook videos on there. It's really anything. So if you have videos on your phone and you want everybody else to see them, so it's pretty cool. So, all right, we hope that helps out. Screen mirroring, great question.
This is Jody.
Yes.
So I was watching Beverly Hillbillies on YouTube, and the next thing I know, my daughter yells upstairs, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "The Beverly Hillbillies just showed up on my Roku."
Yes, you are. You are screen mirroring. Didn't want to. Very good.
This is Shree.
All right, you showed her. Okay, go ahead, Shree.
Yeah, just one thing to be aware of screen mirroring with when you do enable it, it's going to ask you which, like if you have multiple devices, it's going to ask you which device you want to screen mirror.
Yes, it will.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, Jody, you're coming in really low, so I'm assuming you're done speaking. So, okay.
Anissa,
go ahead.
hi. I might have missed this, but what do you use to connect your phone to the TV in order for it to display on the screen so you can mirror it?
Ah, what a great question. Who would like to explain that to Anissa or help her out?
Thank you.
Who would like to help? Anybody want to explain how screen mirroring and all this stuff goes? Anybody?
This is Shree.
Shree, go ahead.
So basically, like I said, we have an Apple TV connected to our TV. And basically what you're doing with screen mirroring is when you turn on screen mirroring, your phone is talking to all the other Apple devices. And one of the devices that it sees is the Apple TV. And so one of the options when it connects to it, the phone says, I see this particular device, because you give your Apple TV a name, and like we call ours the living room Apple TV. So when we turn on screen mirroring, the iPhone goes and checks out to see what all these devices are. And it pretty much does it on the back end. And all I see is, okay, here are your Apple TVs in my Roy household. And I just flick right till I hear the living room and double tap, and then it says screen mirroring started, and then it just all shows up on the screen.
Okay, so it's only for Apple TV then.
That's the one that I've seen it being applied for. I guess you could maybe screen mirror to an iPhone to some other devices, but I think I'm only seeing the Apple TV.
Okay, great. Thank you. Looks like I need to invest in the Apple TV then.
Yeah, it's all
This is
wireless. It's
Terry.
beautiful. Go ahead, Terry Ann. Go ahead.
you can screen mirror your phone to anything that you can connect to via Wi-Fi or via Wi-Fi, I think it is. Like I've screen mirrored my phone to my Lady A device, my ALEXA show.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
This is Brooks.
Yes, Brooks.
One time I used my USB cable to charge my phone from my computer, which was not Apple, and it said, do you want to permit blah, blah, blah? And I said, no. And I'm wondering if I could have allowed it to mirror, or if I could in the future let the big screen on the computer be the mirror for my phone the next time I plug it in that way? Question mark.
Nice.
Question mark. Anybody have any?
This is Jake.
Jake?
You can, there's an option on Samsung 7X series to mirror your TV, but the Samsung TV it has AirPlay too. So.
Okay, and AirPlay is another means of
Another option.
casting. Yeah, casting images from one device to another. Okay, Anissa, great question there. Brad.
I was at my son's the other day, and he has a big screen Sony TV. It's a fairly new one, a smart TV, and he was screen share or AirPlaying his iPhone to his TV and playing music through the stereo that was connected to the TV, and I could see just a tiny bit because I don't see very well. His little iPhone in the dead center of this big giant TV. So he was apparently able to use whatever's on the Sony TV to AirPlay to the TV. Sounded great.
Yes, absolutely. And what I was talking about, if you're using VoiceOver, you will hear the VoiceOver coming through the TV. So everything is like on the TV. Everything that's on your phone is coming through the TV. All right, very good. We are moving on. Thank you for that question. Go ahead, Dee.
Okay, so kind of on this subject, I have a question. I had a friend talking to me just yesterday about, we both have Spectrum TV, and she was trying to lower her cost and things, and they told her they would send, she called it an Apple Stick. Now there is no Apple Stick, is there? There's Apple TV.
Right. Anybody want to clarify that? Anybody?
This is Brad.
Brad.
I'm sure they meant Apple TV.
Yeah.
Well, she also said that they told her she could rent this. I think she said $5 a month for 2 years, and then it would be hers. And I don't think you can do that with Apple TV.
This is
Kathy.
Brad.
Yeah,
They
Brad.
might be talking about Amazon.
Hey, hang on. Brad, and then Kathy.
A lot of what once were always thought of as cable providers are now providing their services via what we traditionally think of nowadays as cord cutting, where they are through an app. And so what they are doing is they are doing a rent to own of their service. They're subsidizing the cost of the Apple TV, charging you so much a month, but you're also paying them for their service each month as well. And then they are giving it to you through the Apple TV service and a Spectrum app that is available on the Apple TV. And it works out for them because it's just kind of a new modern way of accessing their services.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Kathy, go ahead.
Could it be the Fire Stick that they're talking about? I can't really explain what it is because I never got it. But I mean, we have one, but I don't really get it.
And that's
But,
not an Apple product, but that's a possibility.
But somebody recently was telling me she takes hers everywhere, kind of implying that, like, if she's at a hotel, she can access.
Yeah,
and you can access Apple stuff. Well, I don't know.
This is Brad.
Okay.
It's a similar device, but it's not from Apple. And what a lot of the cable companies are doing now is subsidizing the cost of the Apple TV device so that you can get their service via an app. And they tend to use the Apple TV because it's pretty solid device. It has accessibility, and it's probably it's one of the better choices of all of those type of devices.
All right. And Jacob, sorry to keep you waiting. Jake, still there? Okay, I thought you had a comment. Yeah, go ahead.
What I said was if you're talking about a stick, they might be talking about the Amazon Fire TV stick.
Right. That's what she was kind of speculating. All right. Thank you, Jake. Okay.
You're welcome.
Anybody else with a new question? Because I actually have a question if nobody else has one. Anybody going once?
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
I recently, like I think last week, heard, all these things are rumors, but I heard from somewhere that, now I've lost the name of it in my head. That LiDAR is going to be available on the SE 2020 when iOS 15 comes out. So my question is that the current model of SE 2020, or would we have to buy a whole new SE 2020 in order to take advantage of that LiDAR feature?
All right.
Great.
Tree.
I'm going to highly suspect that it's not going to be in the SC. And the reason I'm saying that is from what I've been reading, they're not offering the LiDAR on the 13 mini, the 13. They're only going to offer it on the 13 Pro and the Pro Max. It'd be very shocking to me if the SE gets it and the 13 doesn't get it. So I'm going to suspect, because it's hardware, so I kind of don't see it, because I at least haven't heard anything on the SE side of it.
All right. Thanks, Tree. And I think Dee had a comment.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard there's going to be an SE22, and I also doubt that they put the LiDAR on that product.
All right. Okay.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So yeah, right now, the only phones that would even have the hardware capabilities of even supporting LiDAR is the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. There's rumors that there is going to be more of an expanded lineup with the LiDAR support with, the 13 phone models, and I've also heard about potentially new SE coming out. I don't know whether it will have LiDAR or not, but the current SE will not have LiDAR because it would need the hardware support for that. That would be a hardware upgrade, not a software thing. So I wouldn't look for it on the current SE model.
All right. Great, Herbie. Okay. Next. Anybody have a new question? Or I will. Okay. All right. So my question is, I finally had been using my AirPod Pros a little more recently, sitting on the bus, trying to listen to something. My question is, how do I thought there was a capability to hit it a certain time and then it would go to the next song. It should have this. I know it does, but I don't know if I haven't programmed it or what. Anybody have any thoughts?
That's Brad.
Brad.
You should be able to squeeze either side 2 times real quickly to go forward 1 track, 3 times real quickly to go backwards 1 track, 1 time real quickly to play pause.
Okay, this is Sandhya. So I was bashing that thing. I thought, isn't there a certain squeezing the stem? But I thought you could also just touch the sides or something.
Not on the Pro.
Not on the Pro.
Original AirPod, they had a feature that allowed you to tap.
Yeah, tap, not bash.
But that's the original.
Okay.
Just tap it.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned that off on mine because it was just inherently doing stuff I didn't intend for it to do. But that feature never existed on the AirPods Pro. If you feel on the stem, you feel a slight little indentation there on the front. And it's not really a button, but it's like a little pressure sensitive area. And if you squeeze that as if it were a button, and like I said, one time real quickly, we'll do play pause. 2 times we'll move forwards 1 track. 3 times we'll move backwards 1 track.
All right. I just felt it. And so the other question is, so that's the same button that we would hold down to like get into like activate Siri or hit the transparency mode, right?
This is Brad.
Yes.
That is correct. Now for that feature, you squeeze and hold. And that feature is customizable in the settings for the Bluetooth devices. I believe we mentioned earlier when talking about how to turn on or off the feature that tells it to connect automatically or connect when last connected. There's a bunch of settings. If you go to Bluetooth, find the device, swipe down to more info, you will find a number of settings for that app, including what kind of noise cancellation or transparency mode or off if you want those to work by squeezing, and what you want the 2 sides to do. You know, Siri can be one, or noise canceling mode.
Okay. Yes. I programmed these a while ago and I couldn't remember what I did, but okay. Well, that helps. Thank you so much.
This is Marty.
Yes, sir.
To add to what Brad was saying, also when you customize you can customize the transparency mode in terms of the level of transparency.
Oh, okay.
You can go up to 100%, which I've done that. When you do that, you can have a TV at low volume, and through your AirPods Pro, it sounds like it's just about blasting.
Oh
yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
That's cool.
that glad you pointed that out, because in the past I remember like when I put transparency mode, I didn't hear anything, and now I'm still hearing kind of like the communication, whatever radio, because you're on
This is Marty,
paratransit.
because
Yes.
I think the default is 50%. But like I say, you slide that up to 100%, and you will notice the difference. It might be even so much that you might back it down a little bit. But
Okay. So you can turn it down or turn. Yeah, I want it. Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Okay. Wow. Thank you, Marty. Because I was just wondering, it's like I remember it used to be better than this, but okay. All right. Any final thoughts on AirPods and programming and so forth?
This is Jody.
Jody.
What's transparency?
All right. Who'd like to explain transparency mode for Jody?
This is Brad.
This is Marty.
Brad.
Go ahead.
Transparency mode on the devices that have the noise canceling. How noise canceling works is there's like a little, on the AirPods, it's not really so much of an array, but it's a little microphone on the outside of the device that picks up outside noises, and then it uses it transmits a frequency to cancel it out. So with that technology in mind, transparency mode does not cancel out outside noises. It actually uses the microphones on the outside of the device to pick up ambient sounds, and then it actually plays them through the device's speakers. So in the case of a AirPod Pro, you've got 1 or 2 little microphones on the outside of each AirPod Pro that pick up the sounds, and then it amplifies it and plays it on the inside. And it's really pretty amazing because you can have them in, you can be listening to music or whatever you're listening to, and you still hear everything around you. And you can have conversations from other people in the room. You can talk to people. You can hear the TV. You can hear the doorbell. If you've got a baby sleeping in the other room, if the baby wakes up, you'd hear it. So they're really pretty useful for that kind of thing.
All right. Okay, that's
And-
probably okay.
And-
Marty.
And if I could add,
Oh.
Well, I just wanted to
the-
say that.
Hang on, Marty. Hang
Well,
on.
hey,
Hang on.
I was just
Wrap-
going to add, and the AirPod Pro Max, the AirPod Max headphones, it is even greater because they have an array of microphones on the outside, and it's simply amazing to have them on and have transparency mode turned on. It's like you hear everything as if they're not even on. Okay, go ahead, Marty. Sorry.
All right,
Oh,
Marty and then Jody. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add that also you will notice Apple calls it transparency. The different devices have different, like Amazon calls it pass through, but it's the same thing.
Very good. Good point there. Okay, Jody, last question. Gotta go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so basically, you know, if you were using Soundscape, that you could use that to hear all the sounds around you, but at the same time hear the soundscape. But if you wanted to turn it off and you just wanted to hear music without hearing all the noises around you on a bus or something, you could do that.
This is Brad.
Yep.
Yes, you can. However, a caveat. I have noticed, I've had the AirPod Pro for a while. They have a bit of latency in the transparency mode. So there is maybe a full second delay in what you hear, what is happening on the outside and what you hear through transparency mode. So if you're out and about and near traffic, I would be very mindful of that. I have noticed that on the AirPod Max, the latency doesn't seem to be quite the issue, but I would certainly never wear these headphones walking around out in the world.
All right.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
All right, guys, we have to wrap it up. Thank you so very much, Brad, and everybody that called in to participate and help. And just join us this week. Tomorrow, Mini Buzz, iWork Mini Buzz on Clubhouse, then Vila Book Club on Thursday and 6:30 on Zoom, and then the movie Dial M for Murder, an Alfred Hitchcock classic. Got to come check it out at 8 p.m. on Friday, and then we'll have the weekend off. So we will be seeing you next week. So thank you all, and good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Stay well and